Welcome to the Deep Focus podcast. On today's episode, we will be talking about the continuation of the HFPA drama and the Golden Globes. But first,
Five God on the beat.
good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, we are going straight into it about the HFPA and the Golden Globes. I know on last episode we promised that today will be a fun one with the Fundy Awards and everything. I promise you that's still happening. We felt that all the stuff that's been happening, especially the last 40 to 72 hours with the HFPA and the Golden Globes and all the craziness outside of that, also, we felt that was very urgent and pressing to talk about this first. It's because of the landscape of Hollywood, what's going to happen with the next few years and the future of Hollywood and award shows. It's very concerning. It is worrisome. It's questionable. All the above. We are want to focus on this, right? So I promise you we'll go back to the regular scheduled program as of tomorrow. But now we need to talk about this. And I'm gonna go off a lot of rant, Murad. I know I already told you in the beginning that like what's happening.
Yeah.
Before we get to HFPA, I woke up Monday morning excited because the Venom poster dropped. I thought the art on the Venom poster is an early candidate for poster of the year for next
Top
year
notch.
Fundy Awards. Fundy Awards. The trailer, I'm all in on that. I love that Woody Harrelson's hair doesn't look like a Raggedy Ann redhead anymore. I'm quoting blurred vision. Like, I can't actually remember the Instagram handle. I'll remember the handle. He's an awesome Instagram follow, but I'll make sure to share one of his stories. But overall, like, it's a great start to the morning. Then all these insane news started coming out. So let's start with Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen came out on Sunday and in an interview with Sunday Times Magazine talking about his relationship with James Franco. So for anyone who doesn't know what happened back in 2018, around the time when Disaster Artist came out and was getting all this hype train towards the award seasons, when it comes to Academy Awards and Golden Globes, a lot of accusations has come out towards James Franco, and at this point, it looks like it's all true. To get the exact issue, I did steal a quote from the article. So in 2018, five women accused Franco of sexual inappropriate behavior. Right following his Golden Globes win for Best Actor and Disaster Artist. So like I said, the timing of that is right there. A former acting student, Sarah Tedder Kaplan, I really hope I pronounced that name correctly, was a student at the film school Franco founded Studio 4. Described a scene they're doing together as a nude orgy scene with Franco and several women that she asked to film for the movie The Long Home in 2015. She said Franco removed the protective guards that are used to cover female genitals during the scene and that Franco simulated oral sex on them without the permission. This, these are pretty heavy accusations. And at this time, it's not just accusations. It declares something like this happened. Whether these are pretty graphic and detailed stuff for someone to make up. These things continue to happen in Hollywood. I feel like in with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, with the Kevin Spacey stuff, everything that's happened in the last few years, I'm I feel confident to say that we're just touching the surface of what's happening. All power to these women to come forward with this. It's awesome that they did come forward because this is not easy. Any sort of abuse and bullying and harassment is never easy to come forward, especially a student in her position who is clearly trying to make something of herself and again to Hollywood, and this happened, and it's scary things. So going back to Seth Rogen, so Seth Rogen was doing a magazine article because he has a book coming out, but one of the questions asking was about his relationship with Franco, and for the first, so it looks like Seth Rogen will not be working with James Franco going forward. They have cut professional and personal ties going forward. Uh, Essentially, this is the first time Seth Rogen has really come out giving like a side of the story for him. like finally choosing a side. He's kind of given some vague answers in the past regarding the situation, especially with the relationship he has with James Franco. Like
Mm-hmm.
they've been doing projects together since 1999 on Freaks and Geeks, up to Disaster Artist. So they've been working together for almost 20 years. It's multiple decades of movies together on the production side, on the acting side, and everything. So for Seth Rogen to finally put like a make it black and white, like no, this relationship is done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't condone this. I don't promote this. I will not hide for anyone. Like hide this behavior for anybody, no matter how close I am with them. So bravo for Seth Rogen for doing that. Even though all he's doing is the right thing, sometimes it's hard to do the right thing. So that's the first article I read that day. Damn, like oh damn, like shit. What's next? Then we go to Gal Gadot,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
So Gal Gadot, along with Fisher, who plays Cyborg in Justice League, and Charisma Carpenter, who of the Buffy
Buffy.
the Vampire Slayer cast,
Mm-hmm.
another added to the list of accusing Joss Whedon of abusive behavior. I made this clear, I believe, at least offline, but I know I had mentioned in the podcast too, like just the way Joss Whedon is, his filming style, and sort of making these cringy romantic forced scenes. Like you saw that with the Hulk and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow's character in Age of Ultron. And then you see that again in Justice League with Batman and Wonder Woman, and who knows what else, right? So it has been super cringe and awkward and just
Mm-hmm.
nasty to see. And then to Gal Gadot, someone as powerful as her, like it's very fair to say she is an A-list actor, like she is a big star, and for her to come out and saying like Josh Whedon came to her and said, "Hey, like to threaten her career." So after the news of Gal Gadot and Josh Whedon, Monday just keeps crashing, it keeps falling down. More shit keeps hitting the fan. But before we talk about what more responses has happened, I'm gonna get Murad just quickly touch base on again what we talked about with the HFPA
Mm-hmm.
prior to the Golden Globes. So Murad, like summarized to the people what's happening
Yeah.
so far.
So before the Globes actually happened, there was a huge article that came out in the LA Times, and then of course it was picked up by other articles and news sources that said that hey, the HFPA for a while now has had no black members, have played huge favorites, and is is a society that works almost as an exclusive cult, right? Like only the people who they want in will get in, and it's clear that the people that they want in are people who serve to benefit the members that are already there, right? So this happened, and of course shows get nominated for awards that should not be nominated. Emily in Paris, it came out that the actual producers brought everyone from the HFPA out to Paris to visit the set, to like live in 5-star hotels for the duration of their stay. So it came out that of course these awards can be bought, or those nominations can at least be bought, right? Emily in Paris didn't win, however it was still named as one of the nominees, and then that will then go down in history as hey, this is the show that was nominated for an award. And we know streaming services or even networks who play the show on TV love to say Golden Globe nominated or Oscar nominated, so those nominees and titles hold a lot of weight. So it came out that the society or this Hollywood Foreign Press Association works almost as a cult. You're either with them or against them, and it seems like Hollywood's finally turned against them because Vern, as you know, and as I know now, Scarlett Johansson's been saying, "Hey, we should boycott the Golden Globes, and we should sort of take a stand." And in doing so, uh, a lot of actors backed her on this. The biggest of which was Tom Cruise. That's the first thing that I heard when I was thinking, oh, this is serious. Because Tom Cruise, as you may know, gave back his 3 Golden Globes, right? He returned them all, said, hey, I don't want these anymore. Great. Great first step. Great way to let the HFPA know, hey, we need to start doing better. And they said that they do better, of course, and we sort of kind of have to believe them because I'm not as cynical as I would lead on. However, a part of me is still thinking, hey, maybe this is all just for show. And then news came out, Varun, as you know as well, that NBC is no longer going to be airing the awards, right?
Yes,
So,
yeah. So NBC said that in 2022, like they will not be showcased in the Golden Globes. The Comcast who owns NBC essentially came out and saying, and this is not the quote, but I'm just going to paraphrase what they said,
sure.
is they said that they understand that the HFPA is making the right strides, but to ensure that right strides are continuing to be made and it's still making that progress, they thought that at least that 1 year break would keep them just keep them going on this right path. Like I know I'm repeating the same words again, but to keep going on the right
Mm-hmm.
path, which is a huge thing to say. They haven't counted. They haven't ruled out 2023 yet. So what happens in 2022 is still very up in the air. But I did get this from articles. At this time, it isn't clear if NBC will or will not be paying the HFPA. So I'm not sure if you guys know, but TV rights is a big deal. Like when it comes to ESPN, no, Disney owns all that. Like they pay the rights for Monday Night Football, what they did at one point. Amazon Prime paid the rights to showcase Thursday Night Football, so that will be only available on streaming services. So so these companies, these networks, pay a lot of money mainly because it draws people to their network and they draw people to for ads and payments and things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Really, at the end of the day, that's how they make their money. NBC spends $60 million a year to showcase the Golden Globes, so it still is not. It still is. There's no
16,
word. What 60?
$16
So six
million
zero.
dollars?
Yeah, yeah,
60?
60, yeah. So the Golden Globes, they make $60 million from, you know, from NBC, from Comcast to showcase the Golden Globes every year, right? So that's how TV rights work. I've just because of sports, I follow TV rights a lot. The number right there is not surprising considering how many millions and billions of dollars get spent on all these different networks and sporting networks and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But yeah, so it's still just there's still no word on whether they're paying the annual fee next year or not. That is huge because they either found a way to get around it, or they were like, you know what, like this doesn't matter. Like we need to fix this. So either way, it is a pretty big move by the by NBC. It's a huge move actually. This is not a pretty big move. It's an understatement to say it's a pretty big move because all the revenue to be losing from the Golden Globes, right? When it comes to the exclusive interviews, when it comes to the pre and after shows,
Mm-hmm.
all the red carpet, everything like that, and it's sad because I I don't think the Golden Globes is a great award show. I don't think it does a great job. I've always been sort of against like what direction it did with the awards. I felt like their winners was equivalent to the Grammys, and I don't hold the Grammys to a high honor. However, I love the fact what the Golden Globes is that you're getting the best of TV and movies, so you're getting best of both worlds into one roof,
Mm-hmm.
and you are getting multiple different types of categories. So you are getting best comedy slash musical. So you know that we've talked about having different categories in the Academy Award for best horror, best comedy, etc., etc. Because I feel like a great comedy and a great horror movie is just as good as the best dramatic or biopic type movie available. This is a huge step in the right direction by everyone else. How will HFP respond? We don't know the answer yet, right? But the reason why we're here is not to give you an answer on what the HFPA do because we don't know. We have no idea what the hell they'll do. We have no idea what else is going to happen from there. It's been just a lot of news happening.
Mm-hmm.
We want to inform everyone out there what exactly is happening with the Golden Globes and the HFPA. That's really like a whole lot of like I have to say. Uh, I'm sorry, guys. It's not really a fun podcast. It's straight to business because a lot of dark things has happened this week. With HFPA has been happening for a long time. all the other news has been happening for a long time. It's not just this week, but this reporter making it official. I think with the guy like Tom Cruise who has such a stronghold as a star to say, "Hey, take back my Golden Globes." That's it. Okay,
Not take
HFPA,
back. I'm like
take
I'm
it.
giving
Like,
them to you. Take them
yeah,
from me. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I'm not like it's like one of those things where like you buy something, you don't believe in their product, and you're so mad at the product, you don't even care about getting your money back. Like, just take
Yeah.
it back away from me. I don't
Yeah.
want to see him as sight. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to represent it. And Tom Cruise has also been a person off screen who has been questioned with his character, right? Like, so for every whether it's a PR move or whether it's the right move, at the end of the day, regardless of the reasons are not like that is thought of by the actors, by the network, it's the right move. It's the move they need to make because it
Mm-hmm.
forces HFPA's hands to do the right thing
Mm-hmm.
and step up. This reminds me of like the bribery with with the FIFA World Cup. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know more of a corrupt company out there than FIFA and the NCAA who just want to make their money and doesn't reward the best. As a person who loves watching sports, loves watching competition, and love watching great things and great actors and great people get acknowledged and rewarded for the work they put in, the work they do, for them to not care, right? Like for them, like really, they don't care for the HFPA, and it makes me like disgusted on how they're behaving in this because you have such a high standard of quality that have to uphold, and they're not upholding that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to expect next. I don't know next. Sorry, I don't know what Murad. If you do, you hope something like what's your hope for the next steps besides like the obvious? Like, is there anything else? Like, I know this is a question we really talked about. We didn't prepare for this, guys. Like, I had a
Mm-hmm.
couple snippets of articles just because I felt like we need to talk about this tonight so we could post this as soon as possible. But I'm not sure if Murad, if you
Yeah.
have anything else you want to add to this.
So first and foremost, I thought you said 16 million, and I was thinking, oh boy, that's a lot. And then you said, no, 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 60 million, and I was thinking,
Yeah,
wait a minute, that's so
60,
much. That's so much
60
more.
million, 16 million annually, right? So this is per year.
That's great. So
Yeah.
if losing $60 million to that organization, I'm not sure how much they make outside of just their awards. I'm not sure, what their internal revenue, and I don't think anyone really knows, and I don't think anyone will know. If they're not letting members in, they're not gonna show people, hey, this is how much money we make. They're kind of weird. But if losing $60 million is okay for them, and they still don't want to change their ways, that's up to them. But if their actors are saying, hey, your awards mean nothing to us, they're kind of shit, take them back, or not take them, I'm giving them back to you, you don't have a choice in the matter, then yeah, I hope it forces their hand. I know they came out saying that they're going to be investing more in these classes, and they're going to bring in like a third party auditor and go over their bylaws and such. I hope they actually do that, and I hope to God that that these changes that they make are everlasting and will create an impact. Because the last thing we want is for them to have, let's say, one black member and say, hey, there's our token black member, you guys happy, let's go back to our award show, give us our 60 million back. I hope it leads to some change, because I mean, not even just with the HFPA, but with everything that's come out in this past week. On Monday, three bombs dropped, right? Which, I mean, the Joss Whedon thing, the James Franco thing, the HFPA thing, they all stem from the age-old tradition of Hollywood doing what Hollywood wants and getting away with it, right? Like, so many actors and so many directors are problematic, right? Like you said, with um, Harvey Weinstein, with Kevin Spacey, with Bill Cosby, and the list goes on and on. And now we're adding James Franco to that list, right? That's something that is so quintessentially like, oh, of course this happens in Hollywood, because the industry sort of makes it seem like it happens anywhere. And of course, with Joss Whedon, a male director, sort of taken their own steps, and then of course with the HFPA stuck in their own ways. I hope that the changes are made, and I hope that they last, because we need a safer place for these artists to tell their stories without fear of uh, any sort of assault, any sort of threat, and proper recognition that they deserve from a non-biased committee. And that's my stance on it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward about like with our feelings towards
Mm-hmm.
this. Um, Cleaner act. Let's fix this. It is need fixed for a while. Uh, yeah, like the 60 million, like that's a lot of money. At the same time, NBC will likely gain money
Yeah.
even because I believe so. Even though this is a hard number to sort of analyze, just because with the Golden Globes this year, I think they've only made $51 or $52 million from ads alone this year. So they did lose about almost $10 million just by showing the
Mm-hmm.
Golden Globes. But you know what? It is what it is, right? They did start an 8-year contract with the Golden Globes starting in 2019. So who knows what that means going forward? I'm pretty sure there's no clause and to sort of break out of it, but who knows? At the end of the day, that's something to talk about in the future. We want the HFPA to get their act together. You want the Golden Globes to, you know, re-raise their standards if they had those standards at all. You know, we have to question all of it now. Uh, like stop being jackasses, get your shit together. And with that, guys, we'll see you tomorrow for the fundies. That's all we have. Be safe. Be kind to everyone. Peace.
Peace.